Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to RAM Overload. Today I'm going to be talking about what the 10 most useful apps and websites that every student should know about. All right, school is starting up again, summer is over, and these are, in my opinion, the best 10 apps slash websites that students should use for sure. All right. So the first one is called Alarmy. It's an app available both on Android and iOS, and it's basically an alarm clock with a little extra to it. Okay, so it's not like a typical alarm clock that you would think that's on your phone already. This one has a lot more ringtones, right? And it's more unique than the pre-built ones. But not only that, the thing that makes this unique is that you have to perform a specific action for the alarm to turn off. Okay, so one of the main things, if you have a morning class, and one of the most annoying things about waking up early is that you would wake up and then you're like, all right, I want to sleep for an extra 5 minutes. You go to sleep 5 minutes, you wake up like an hour later, you're late for class or you miss it. So this app, you have to somewhat be awake to solve the puzzle. It can be like a math problem, it can be like some kind of puzzle like this, or a few other things that you would kind of have to use your brain to be able to turn off the alarm. Okay, and I think this is really important for any student who has morning classes. All right, moving on is Mint. So if you guys don't know what Mint is, it's basically a budget tracker, right, which allows you to manage your money. So most students in college aren't really good financially. That's one thing, and the other thing is that they really don't have a lot of money to begin with. So this app really makes it easy to be able to manage your finances a lot more granular. So you can set up budget trackers, you can get notifications once you go above a budget, and it basically keeps track of all your spending, which category they were in. Also, you can integrate all your credit cards and bank accounts in this app. So just all across the board, whatever you have, you can just import it here. Aside from that, this is completely free 100%, so you don't have to worry about paying for this at all. So definitely check out Mint. They have an app also, really cool as well. All right, the third one is Quizlet. So Quizlet is basically a website which gives you flashcards, right? And it has a whole plethora of topics. So you can see over here, humanities, languages, other. So let's do science, computer science. And over here you can see a bunch of spreadsheets, or not spreadsheets, a bunch of flashcards that people have created. So you can create your own as well and upload it, and other people might find it useful as well. So aside from that, if you have even maybe, let's say, a test coming up, you can also create flashcards for the test on here as well. So yeah, definitely take that into consideration. This is probably one of the best and most likely the most popular Quizlet, or I should say notes app out there. So yeah, definitely check it out. Moving on, next one is LinkedIn. So if you guys are in college, this is probably the best time to start a LinkedIn, maybe even before if you're really into it. But definitely in college, you should be setting up your LinkedIn. Just because your career, your jobs are going to start within a few years, if not less, right? So you really want to have your LinkedIn built up and try to add a couple people here and there. Try to have a small community from beforehand. So when looking for a job, you can, or maybe get help from your LinkedIn connections. Okay. Aside from that, setting it up can take a little while. So if you wait after college, depending on what your experience is, it might take a lot longer to set up your profile. So it never hurts to set it up early. You can just kind of set it and forget it if you need to, or set it up and just interact with recruiters, other professionals, not coworkers, but other students, and all sorts of different professionals on here. Moving on is Grammarly. So Grammarly is another great app. You've probably seen the ad, right? And I would highly suggest you download it. It is free, and they do have a premium version, but the free one, it should be good enough for what you guys are doing. All right. If you're writing any essays, any stories, or basically anything you're doing on the computer, you definitely need Grammarly. Whether it's it'll help you in an email, it'll help you pretty much anywhere. If you have a Word doc or on a web browser, anywhere, Grammarly will fix your errors. And sometimes you just have like errors because you're used to talking a specific way, and it's when you put it down on paper, it's really not professional. So this will tell you exactly where you should put it, or how you should change it. And like, for example, over here you can see our team has less projects than this quarter, which it should be fewer. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, but your professor could deduct points depending on who they are or how they are for this. So definitely a lifesaver on that sense. So download it and try it out. Moving on is Rate My Professors. So this website is an interesting one. It's basically gives you ratings of your professors or professors that you might be interested in taking. So let's say what's a college? NYU. Let's go here and let's just check out and click it. NYU. All right, that's not working. New York. Oh, okay. So I see what I did. So I selected NYU. Now I need a professor's name. So let's just put like a generic professor's name. I don't know, Ian James. So you can see his rating of 3.8. And this is the distribution. Would take again level of difficulty, because some professors are more difficult than other ones, some are nicer than other ones. So this is a good gauge on whether you should take a professor or not. So and people leave their comments as to why they give that rating, right? So overall, this professor looks somewhat decent. Only one person has a really bad rating for him. So yeah, I would really I would probably consider taking him. And definitely when you take a professor, help the site out, help other people out, leave your reviews on here as well. You can see over here different tags on him. But yeah, really good website. I've used this for pretty much every single class of mine. The website is a lot different now, way more ads than before, but it still provides the information that you need. So yeah, definitely before taking a class, you do want to do research on the professor. Okay, so if there is an easier professor to take, so if a professor has like a 1 out of 5 or a 2 out of 5, you'd rather take another professor that has a higher rating, even though if it's at a different time, because you're gonna have to restructure your schedule, right? Probably your other classes as well. So you want it so you have a decent professor for all your classes. So that's probably the best way to have to do decent in class. All right, moving on is WordHippo. So WordHippo is an interesting website. So it's basically when you have a word and you don't know, it's basically a thesaurus, right? So you just want to find another word that means the same thing. So, when you're writing essays, sometimes you just feel like, okay, I'm saying the same thing over and over again. How can I rephrase this or reword it to say something else? All right, let's say money. So, these are the different things I can use. I can use cash, currency, capital, coin, funds, bread, dough. Well, these are informal, but the first 4 or 5 are pretty good alternates to money. So any word you have, you feel like, or if you just want to sound smarter in a sense, obviously you don't want to overdo it, but sometimes words, it just sounds dumb to write it down in an essay. You can just search it up over here and find a more smart sounding word for that and use that as instead. So yeah, definitely a great website. Moving on is Chegg. So Chegg is an interesting website. This one is not free, right? So you do have to pay for it, just a caveat beforehand. But it's really good. Depending on the classes and professors you have, you might be able to find a exam or previous homework or, prep material on here for specific classes. So yeah, definitely want to look in here. So, certain classes, I know for accounting classes, a lot of the professors use exams that are available on Chegg, right? So, maybe for other classes as well. I don't know too much about other classes, but you do want to always check here. So you can check beforehand and see if it's available, and only then buy it if not. So there is I believe a monthly price, but you can also buy specific exams or tests as well, which are slightly higher than $16. But from my experience, they're probably around like $50-$60, which isn't bad if you are splitting it amongst friends, and it's for a whole test, kind of guaranteeing an A. So yeah, definitely look into this as well. Moving on is Wolfram Alpha. So Wolfram Alpha is an interesting website. So it basically has all the information that you need. So I know that's a pretty generic statement that I said, but one thing that it really excels at is math, right? Which I'll show you another website that does it pretty good as well. Let's say math input. So you can do all these popular math equation or symbols that you want to probably solve for. Okay, so like here you got like linear algebra things, some graphing stuff, popular things. So you not only that, it can also show you step-by-step solutions. So over here, let's say this example equation, we have the input, alternate form, number line, symbol, all this information over here. So here's also the step-by-step, but this one I guess you need Pro for over here. Aside from that, you can also upload images. Let's say if you have your homework in front of you, you can take, I believe they have an app as well. You can take an image of that app and upload it, and it'll solve it for you from there. So not only mathematics, it does have a bunch of other things. So personal life, just different information about different things, about energy, basically anything scientific or anything you can kind of find over here. Not only that, just general information. Definitely check it out. And checking it out will be the only way you can kind of guarantee what's on this site, and the only way you'll ever use it if you know what this site has. So yeah, definitely check it out. All right, so this is the other website, Math Solver by Microsoft. They have an app as well, I believe. So definitely look at the app. Also, it's a lot cooler than the webpage. So it's similar. So let's say if, so this one just focuses on math. So let's say quadratic equation. I click this. So here they will show you the steps over here. For Wolfram, you have to pay for the steps, but they give it to you. So yeah, they're probably a little better, but they only specialize in mathematics, so which most people probably will use for it. So yeah, you have the step-by-step, you have the graph, you have all this information, you have videos on YouTube that you can find that are related to this, other related concepts, just a bunch of information about specific topics. Great place to learn something. So let's look at this matrix. It's usually linear algebra. Let's see, matrix multiplication right here. It's pretty good at guessing on what exactly is needed. Transposing matrices, and yeah, so really good website. Definitely check it out. Same thing as the Wolfram, where if you have the app, you can just take an image of your equation on the paper, and it will give you the solution. Last but not least is an app called GroupMe. So GroupMe is a great app to connect different students, your team, or if you're working together on a specific project. It's a great app to get, which you guys can connect with other students. So not only that, if you don't want to give your personal information to someone else, just because you're not, just because you don't want to, I guess. GroupMe is a great app that you can download and invite them on as well. So aside from that, this app has a great reputation, over 10 million downloads on Android. It's available on iOS as well. So yeah, definitely check it out. Really cool app. I've used it on a bunch of different projects that I've worked on in the past. They also have a web browser, so you can just talk over there. So yeah, these are my top 10 picks. Definitely check it out. If you guys have any questions, leave it down below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.